Oh, mercy, mercy me. It's hot in Philadelphia. It's hot in Pennsylvania. What's up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's me, Green. What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today? Yeah, you know how it is. Same old stuff. Different day. We're doing the same old, same old. But here it is, though. We're just hanging out, doing moderate stuff. But
And you can't just take my camera?
like I said,
No? Normally you'd be right. I just had a thought. And Lois, you can tell me if I'm reaching here.
yeah, I'm just hanging out. But on a seriousness note, yeah, I'm just hanging around doing stuff.
Tell
And
me if I'm reaching here, but I believe the escaped lunatic known as the Wedding Destroyer has threatened you.
I believe that
Tell me if I'm... Who the hell are you?
yeah, I believe that any time should be for movies, man. What do y'all think? I think that we we should all settle back for a movie or something. Just chill out with a movie, hang out. You know, we don't have to do all the unnecessary like ceremony type stuff. Just hang out with the movies and see what comes of it. But what I'm doing now is just hanging out with the uh with the movie. Yeah, I was watching this spy thriller called Salt with Angelina Jolie. I'm gonna tell you, she makes great movies, man. Great movie. But I'm here to recommend it. You know, the movie for anybody who wants to, partake of it. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Partake of the movie. Have a good time. Just relax. We don't have to. It's like it's probably a good thing that you just hang out. We don't even have to like really do anything. It's just what it is. But here's the thing. Um, I recommend Salt for you. It's on an app called Pluto. Look on demand. Yeah, it's an app called Pluto, and it's on the on demand setting. When you push it, the movie comes up along with the first Transformers, the live action. Then you got Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and then you got Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, which are really great movies in themselves because they all feature Peter Cullen as the voice of Optimus Prime, and Frank Welker as Megatron or Galvatron, as you may know him as. But they're good movies. Settle back with get some popcorn. Cold coffee, and just chill out and watch them. Hang out. I mean, just it beats just getting in trouble all the time. So just the thought. But yeah, and I was watching, I was checking out some other movies, right? Old movies at that, like the old monster movies, like Frankenstein and the Wolfman, and you know, it's a video called Monster Movie Classics, and you got like three. You got it comes in like three. It comes in like three discs, and each disc has two movies on it. You got Frankenstein and the Mummy. Um, Frankenstein meets Wolfman. Uh, Wolfman versus Dracula. Um, you got the creature from the Black Lagoon. Return of the creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, it's just cool with that. classic movie monsters. You know, you can't go wrong with those. Yeah, I recommend them. They're good movies. I mean, for those of us who came from that era, you know, they're good movies. You can you can find them in your local Walmart, Dollar Bin. You know, most of the time you get like you get like premium movies from the Dollar Bin anyway. So you know you can get them from your Dollar Bin and you know binge out. You don't have to spend money on a Red Book movie where you could have to send it back after you're done. You could keep the movie because you paid for it. It's yours. You know, and you can enjoy it anytime you want. You know, I mean, that's how it goes. But to be real with you, yeah, I mean, I checked all those movies out. I even had I even watched movies on YouTube. What was it? Rosemary's Baby. I watched that one. That one was pretty cool. I mean, that one's about a baby that was born and the baby was possessed by the devil. I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, if you're in for that macabre horror stuff, I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, I highly recommend it for, you know, movie buffs. If you're into that, you know, it's a good movie. You can watch horror movies anytime. Anytime at all, you can watch horror movies. Me, I'm into science fiction myself. You know, like Star Trek Next Generation, you know, Star Trek The Insurrection, Star Trek what the Generations, Star Trek the original series, Star Trek Enterprise. I mean, it's just like that. You know, you don't even have to. You don't even have to do. You don't even have to do the horror movie. You can go from horror to sci-fi. I mean, sci-fi is a diverse subject. You got Doctor Who, Doctor Who, the Unearthly Child, Doctor Who, the Day of the Daleks. I mean, it all pans out, man. I mean, then you got other movies, other shows that's in the genre, like Blake Seven, about a guy who's about a guy who steals a Federation ship and assembles this crew, and they roam around the universe and they fight against the Federation's tyranny, you know, while trying to keep alive, you know. I mean, it's something that you may want to check out. Blake Seven. I mean, you may want to. I mean, to watch it, you have to pull it up on YouTube because you're not going to find it on PBS. You're not going to find it on channel 23. You know, you're not going to find it on channel 65. You got to pull it up on YouTube. And if you want to really find episodes, you might have to order from Turner Movie Classics, and they have it, Blake Seven. So I would just pull it up on YouTube and watch it, you know, in its entirety. You know, no ads. It's just you and the movie. You know, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. See, what it was Blake was a guy. He was a guy. He was sort of like he was a teacher he was a school teacher turned resistance fighter, and he was teaching. I believe he was teaching a course in science, and the Federation troops came because they heard he was subversive, and they came to capture him. So what it was he ran from them. I mean, he stole a ship, a shuttle, and he ran. He had no other choice because the Federation gave orders that if they saw him, to kill him on contact. I mean, hell, I'd run too. But long story short, they they capture Blake and they take him back to this high maximum security prison on Earth. It's in the part of Nevada. It's in the part of Nevada that's a desert, and it's like a big prison. It looks something like a city, but it's a great big prison full of inmates, right? And you got this one guy. He's supposed to be the commandant of the prison. He wants to find out what Blake knows about the resistance. So what he does is he hooks Blake up to this machine, and they pump him full of drugs, right, to induce sleep. And all through his sleep, they give him nightmares of torturing images of children being slaughtered, and killed and stuff. And he's like really cracking up. In these dreams, he's really fighting to come out of it. But, you know, the drugs are just too powerful. He's like really agonizing because he has to relive these dreams every night until he gives up the location of his friends and family that are in the resistance. And what it is the Federation, they tortured him month after month. They tortured him for a whole year. My boy was all cracked up, right? He was crazy. He was crazy. It was like every time he went to sleep, he would wake up with nightmares of children getting killed in bombing raids and stuff. I mean, it was terrible. But then one day he met this prisoner called Avon. Avon is like this mad scientist type. Avon in his spare time built a computer called ORAC. It's like a little cube. It's about the size of a bread box, and it's a computer. It's a supercomputer. And he tells Blake. He says to Blake in the cell. He says, um, "Wait till lights out. My friends are gonna come, and they're gonna get us both out of here. Um, there's a ship. There's a ship over waiting for us when we get into space. All we gotta do is get to space." So they steal the prison shuttle when light goes out, when night's out, right? And they pick up the people out of the desert. That's his friends and family, and they skinny up to this ship, right? This ship called the Liberator. It's like a Federation battleship with a super AI computer named Zen. So what Avon did was to control the ship, you had to control the computer. So what Avon did was he took Orac and he hooked him into Zen and made the computer a lot stronger. He made the ship really sentient. So what he did was beautiful. The ship was sentient. The Federation came after them, and the ship, sensing the Federation approach, threw up shields to fight them off. The ship's computer threw up all these shields. The Federation would fire and fire, but their weapons were useless. Then all of a sudden, right, Avon says to the ship, Zen, get us out of here. And the ship does this, what do you call it? It does this slide move where it does sort of like a hyper warp jump, and it disappears. And it reappears about 150 light years away, right? And they're cruising along, and everybody's talking on the bridge. Yeah, we certainly did get away from them, right? And Blake is wondering, yeah, but where are we going? What are we doing, right? His brother comes over to him. It says, Blake, um, we're going to the Badlands because that's the only place they can't follow us. His brother says, okay, we're going. They set the course. Avon set the course for the Badlands, and the ship is on its way. You know, but they get a distress call from a ex-Federation captain named Terrence. Terrence is down on this moon where the Federation forces left him. What it is he was fighting in a war, and his Servalan, who was the Federation praetor at the time, she decided that she was going to leave him. She was going to leave him to die. So what he did was he sent out a distress signal, and it was picked up by Zen. and Zen was telling Avon, yeah, we have a distress signal from deep within the Badlands, and they next thing you know, the ship just goes to the signal. It aligns its own course and goes. And when they materialize, there's all these Federation ships around this one planet, right? And to approach it would have meant death for any other ship. But the Liberator is a high end Federation battle cruiser. I mean, the Liberator kind of flew in there. It kind of flew in nice and slow, nice and slow. Just cruised to the other side of the planet. Even even Villa and Blake went down in a shuttle and picked up Tarrant and the rest of the survivors, right, back up to the Liberator. But one of the Federation ships came around the planet and saw the Liberator and told Serverland that the Liberator was there. And next thing you know, the Federation ships come around the planet and they're like literally going to kill the Liberator. We're literally going to kill everybody. Zen saw them. As soon as the shuttle docked, Zen didn't tell Avon. It just jumped out of the way like, and the ship disappeared again. The Federation had no idea where it went. Ship reappeared. It reappeared around Saturn, and Terrence says, "Yeah, thanks for getting me out of there. I was a Federation captain, yeah, but Serverland left me to die. So he goes, I quit. He goes, I from here on in, I quit the Federation. He takes his Federation badge off and he tosses it on the bridge of the floor of the bridge and he stomps on it, right? And he says, I quit the Federation, right? And Blake walks over to him and says, welcome to the Resistance, brother. And he shakes his hand and he gives him a teleport bracelet because everybody's wearing one, right? This keeps him in contact with the ship. And he says, look, look, Tarrant, we need your help. We gotta rescue we're going back to that prison. We gotta rescue our people, right? We got ships down there that can take our people to safety, but we need to get them out of there in a hurry. So they take the Liberator back there, right, with Tarrant, because Tarrant is piloting the Liberator, and the Liberator appears on the outskirts, on the outer red edge of the system, and just kind of creeps in slow. And the Federation has no idea what's coming. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, you see this big blinding flash of light, like boom, and all of a sudden, the Federation flagship just explodes, like boom, it just exploded, and everyone else is like, what happened? What happened? Who fired that shot? What happened? Where did it come from? Nobody knew. But the Liberator had in the confusion, the Liberator slipped past them and managed to get around the dark side of the planet. And man, they managed to teleport everybody in the prison on board the Liberator and leave before being detected by the Federation troops. Serverland, she's back on Earth. She's mad. She's madder than a bag of wet cats. She's cursing at everybody. She's like, why can't you idiots do one thing right? You always foul up every time I give you a mission. And she's really laying into her ship's captain. This poor guy, he don't stand a chance. So he says, well, why don't we go back out there? We might be able to find out where they went if we just examine their trial. And one of the pilots says, Captain, you're an idiot. You know the Liberator doesn't leave a trail. I mean, once it's gone, we can't tell where it went or where it came from. So everybody's mad at everybody. And Serverland strolls up on the bridge. She sits in the command chair. She goes, I don't care. shield. I don't care. Find that ship at all costs. I want them destroyed. Even if we gotta use every ship at our disposal, and they go off and they find this ship, and next thing you know, they're at war. The Federation comes around and they're like firing at the Liberator nonstop. It's missiles everywhere, right? And the Federation, the Liberator is just sitting there, and the shields are just getting pounded, right? And Avon and Villa, they're cracking jokes. They're like, "Yeah, Serverland is an idiot. If she thinks she can get this ship, Then we'll do it like this. Since we don't have a school teacher, Blake will have to be our school teacher. He will teach all the children, and he will teach them well. Blake is teaching everybody. He's having a grand old time teaching the children. He and all of a sudden, the the early warning system on the side of on the opposite moon of the planet, it picks up a Federation incursion force. So it alerts the Liberator, who alerts Terra, who just happens to be sleeping in his quarters. He goes running to the bridge. He's calling everybody. Everybody, get up here! Get up here! The Federation is here. Get up here! Right? And everybody jumps. Everybody gets on the shuttle, and they're up here. You know, everybody's getting ready for battle. Villa and Abe's in their seats. And Villa says, "Abe, why are we putting up with this? Why are we putting up with this woman? Why don't we just kill her and save us all the problems?" Avon says, "Yes, I couldn't agree more." And they turn the ship around, and Blake says to the computer, "Computer, target the lasers, maximum power. We're gonna destroy that Federation flagship." And Zen says, "Yes, we'll destroy the Federation flagship," and he zeroes in on the Federation flagship, and Serverland comes charging toward him full speed, and you see Zen firing torpedoes and lasers everywhere, right? And the Federation ship is getting torn to pieces. It's like every guard, every soldier, right, is headed for an escape pod. One guy was like, "We're getting out of here! Run!" He grabs his buddy. He goes, "Come on, stupid! Let's go!" He running to the escape pod down the hall. And Serverland says, "Any man who leaves is automatically considered a mutineer and will be hunted down by the Federation." And the guy turned back around and said, "Better a live mutineer than a dead hero." And he grabs his buddy and he just runs. He tosses the kid that he has with him into the escape pod, his buddy, and he jumps in there, and then they all launch their escape pods toward the ship, toward the planet. Right? They touch down, and the people says, "Oh, we're here. We're here. Yeah, the Federation. Yeah, we got off a Serverland ship just in time. Yeah, I think Serverland got away too. She got away in one of those what do you call it? One of those shuttles. She did a space jump as we got here." And Avon says, "She got away, huh? Yeah, but she'll come back with a bigger and stronger ship, I guarantee you." Right? Terrence says, "Yeah, she'll come back, and we'll be waiting for her." Right? So they go back to the planet and they're having a ball. They're laughing, drinking wine and whatnot. You know, the children are in bed, and it's just crazy. I mean, the show itself is good. You can check it out on YouTube, like I said, or you can order it through the mail. You know, I would just check it out on YouTube if you wanted to watch it right away because it's better. You don't have to like pay for it, or you would order it through the mail and wait 3 weeks and get the complete set. And you know that's what you can do. And you know, get that. It's a good watch. Those of us who like science fiction and watch that type of stuff, we like it. So there you go. It just takes a little, just stopping the crying and whatnot, and you know. But it's a good watch. All I'm saying is it's a good watch. I recommend it. I recommend it. But I'm gonna get off of here, and I'll probably see you guys again, probably later or something like that. But I want you guys to give what I should have thought. Think about watching Blake Seven. I mean, I enjoyed it. Doctor Who, all the Star Trek series. You know, from beginning to end. It's a good. It's like you can take your mind and go on a vacation on an adventure. While still sitting at home. Just do it. You know, and all I'm saying, boys and girls, you know, watch a movie, read a book. Your mind is the greatest holodeck of all. You know, with your mind, there's no limits to what you might achieve. You know, anything you perceive, you can achieve. You know, okay. Let me jump off of here, and I'll bid you a fond farewell and peace out, y'all.